Hi YouTube! I think that competitive eating is so freaking interesting. So we're gonna watch this video today. It's called What It's Like to Be a Competitive Eater.
So I always forget if I want my drinks on my right or my left. I'm gonna have to take my hand off my cup of water, which it sounds like, what's the big deal? But when you're in the middle of a contest, every time you pick up and put down your water, you have to make sure it doesn't fall over, and it's a waste of effort.
In 2024,
Ooh.
Miki Sudo set the women's
She's a
record
pro.
of 51 hot dogs and buns in 10 minutes.
51! She should have seen me in college. I was slinging more hot dogs and buns than she could even catch. I'm just joking.
At the Nathan's Famous Hot Dog Eating Contest.
Miki Sudo!
Joey Chestnut holds the all-time Nathan's
Hey,
record
that's that guy.
at 76. It's one of over 70 sanctioned events run by Major League Eating, and thousands of fans gather to witness the spectacle. But make no mistake, for competitive eaters, this is no game. For a shot at winning, these athletes train their bodies like machines and plan every bite to compete in a fierce battle against time, appetites, and their competitors.
That's crazy. How do you train yours? I don't understand it. I guess they'll go into it. Well, let's keep watching.
But how healthy is it to do this for a living? And what's behind our fascination with extreme eating?
4, 3, 2, 1, put down your hot dogs!
I'm so fascinated.
Miki is well known in the Major League Eating world. She's the top-ranked female in the league and number 5 overall. Her husband Nick Weary follows right behind her at number 6.
Oh, what the dude? Look at this. They both got little mohawks. That's super cute.
You like blueberries? Those are really good. Those are yummy.
Nick and Miki are at their home in Florida, getting ready to practice for a new challenge, the Norm's Hot Cake Eating Contest.
Oh, pancake.
Norm's Hot Cakes is one of the last events of the year, and the prize purse is $10,000.
That's pretty good.
It's uncharted territory, as neither has competed with hotcakes before, and they've fine-tuned every detail of their training for success.
As far as I'm concerned, this is completely a capacity contest. Who has enough room to keep eating for 10 minutes, or who has the most room to consume the most food? You need to find what plays to your strengths. And in my case, being more analytical and really studying my techniques and studying the food is what's helpful. Other people learn better by just doing and mimicking contest conditions and going about that way.
Now I'm gonna zone out, put a little music on.
3, 2, 1, go! All right, go ahead.
Oh, I
Go,
hate
babe.
the water.
Make a great time.
Ew, that's gross.
Work them down.
Ew, I don't like watching that.
These look fluffy.
I hate it
always
when they
forget if I
dip
want
things
my
in
drinks
water.
on my right or my left. So do I want to fold them? Do I want to roll them? Do I want to rip them?
Dang, they really break it down. It's like a science, man.
Coming
Ew,
up on
go
2
away.
minutes.
You look gross.
2 minutes.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Don't slow down. Don't slow down. You got this. I think because I'm
Ew.
gonna have to manipulate them more. I think it makes more sense to have a drink in my left hand and for me to work with my right because I'm right-handed. Just wait a minute. You got
grunting.
this.
Oh my gosh, dude.
It's competitive eating, not competitive prettiness. But when you start eating your own hair, that's very distracting too. I am so tempted to use both my hands and do this way, but I know that water is going to be essential. So I almost want to figure out a strategy where I can do it with one hand. So I've already used a pint.
God, she's
of
too
liquid
mic'd up. They
for
need to take the
11
mic
pancakes.
away.
That's not a good ratio. 90 seconds. If you just stuff one at the end, you can clear everything right there. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. Moisten the pancake on my first bite. Bite. So 4 bites, and then the next time I move my teeth forward, I just swallow. 5.
What the
4,
heck?
3.
They're counting their
2,
bites until they
1.
swallow?
Good job.
That's wild.
Good job.
Ew, get away. Oh, you scary looking.
You went through a lot of liquid. I feel like that's going to be the hard part because you need the liquid for them to go down fast, but you're going to triple the weight.
I think they'll be a little less chewy, the ones
Are they allowed to request like soda?
the ones from Norm's.
I could do this. They just need to give me some like Mountain Dew and I can do this.
Because the restaurant quality, they're not box made in bulk, overstirred quality. It kind of hurts to laugh.
So while my practice, I guess, looks a little different, I got some really important take.
See, soda would fill you out more than water because of the bubbles. Soda would make you throw up. Really? I don't know. I have a sweet stomach. No matter how much I eat, I can always have dessert after.
Takeaways from this little session. One, my approach is going to be to fold them going into the contest. Two, I'm going to need as hot water as possible.
Oh.
Three, I'm not going to forget to dance out those air pockets.
In the world of Major League Eating, dancing out the air pockets is crucial for settling food in the stomach so they can keep
Just start
eating.
jumping?
Now, Miki's tics, I would say, the one that everyone notices is she turns her mouth to the side, and everyone thinks she's wiping her mouth. And it doesn't look like that because usually it'll be schwetz.
There's this one girl who just started turning her head to the right because she thought that was like the winning way to go. And it's not something that I do intentionally. It's not, you know, a technique that I do for any particular reason other than that's what my body's response is. And Nick's,
She's a natural.
yeah, no, he just does his little shimmy. I don't know, he like grunts and like he does this air pocket pushing out thing.
You got air pockets? I don't have air inside of me.
No, it looks something like that.
It's not just Mickey and Nick. Many top eaters have their own unique ways of tricking their bodies into pushing the limit.
They're like balloon humans. What the heck? I don't think I have air inside of me like that. They're like sponges. What?
Matt Stoney jumps up and down. Joey Chestnut throws his head back. One of the most iconic moves is the Kobayashi shake. Named after the retired Major League eater Takeru Kobayashi, the godfather of competitive eating.
The godfather.
During competitions,
That's cool.
Kobayashi would wiggle his body to force food down his esophagus and pack it into his stomach.
He's
Some
like
gastroenterologists think
like a
there may
snake.
be some science behind these movements. Competitive eaters stand upright to avoid compressing their stomachs during contests.
Oh.
As they eat quickly, food fills the esophagus, creating a bottleneck. To speed things up, some jump up and down, using gravity to help food move into the stomach. This upright position also allows the stomach.
Do they just not chew? This is like an actual photo. I feel like I never see competitive eaters really chewing. It's more like they're just swallowing as quickly as possible, right? They are like snakes. This is a snake technique.
to expand to its maximum capacity. Working out those stomach air pockets isn't the only challenge competitive eaters face. They also deal with brain freeze from ice cream, burning sensation from spicy foods, or flavor fatigue when they're on their 20th hotcake.
How do you master the ability to tell your body, like, I don't care how you feel, what matters is the objective at hand?
All of this preparation and training would be nothing without an audience. Take the Nathan's hot dog competition, for example. 40,000
Oh my god,
people
that man was
flocked-
like shaking. How do you like keep it down? That's the crazy part.
Feel.
Look at this guy. He's like
competition, for example. 40,000 people
Shaking.
flock to Coney Island every 4th of July to watch this sports Super Bowl. So what is it that fascinates us about a spectacle like this in the first place?
It's
Part
kinda
of it could
scary.
be that there's something primal about watching someone take on a modern-day gladiator match.
It's human endeavor. I know what it means to eat a hot dog, but to watch Joey Chestnut eat 76 of them is pretty stunning.
That's
Yeah,
Richard
that's what I'm
Shea,
saying.
the president and co-founder
I'm
of
like,
Major
that's
League
crazy.
Eating. He and his brother George are responsible for turning competitive eating in America into a business that reaches millions of people every year. And they've mastered another way to keep us watching. They've turned competitive eating into pageantry at its purest. Every contest is engineered for maximum entertainment.
While we take our sport very
This feels so American. I know there's a lot of people from other countries who travel and to do these kind of events. But something feels so American about this.
seriously, we do layer in a little bit of ballyhoo, and that sort of is from the Coney Island days, and that's sort of the carnival barker with the straw hat. We literally put on the straw hat, and we literally bark sometimes.
Let the contest begin!
And then the very famous, bejeweled, mustard yellow, Nathan's famous hot dog eating championship.
Dude, this
belt,
genuinely
which I
looks so
feel
fun.
a little sacrilegious holding this since I haven't earned that right. Mickey Sudo, the female champ, and Sonia Thomas have had similar belts. Those are pink.
In 2011, the league added
They
a
get pink
women's
ones, that's
division
cute.
to the Nathan's contest, and Sonia won. Her success marked a turning point for women in the sport.
Mickey Sudo is clearly the most decorated female eater of all time. So, you know, she might stand on the shoulders of Sonia and would probably say so. But Mickey's gone on to just compete across discipline, beat men routinely.
Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest is the only event at which men and women compete separately. And I think that's cool to a degree because it gives, you know, it gives some women the platform they definitely wouldn't receive otherwise. But even then, you know, I compare my numbers to how the guys do.
One of those guys is Patrick Bertoletti. He's over 1,000 miles away, gearing up for the Norm's Hotcake Contest.
I think for me going into this contest, my goal is anywhere between 8 and 10 pounds of pancakes.
10 pounds of
Normal training for me
pancakes?
is just drinking a sizable amount of water just to keep my stomach stretched out.
Oh, you're right.
And practicing with the food. So this competition, Norm's hotcakes coming up, I've been eating pancakes like 2 or 3 times a week.
Oh my gosh, yeah, someone brought up in chat how they just drink water to stay like bloated for a long time.
You just have to really
They're
work on
balloons.
getting your stomach stretched out.
Many eaters believe that the stomach stretching he's talking about contributes to winning when practiced consistently over time. In a
Oh, they're so
2007
wet.
study in the
Ew.
gastroenterology of a competitive eater, researchers at the University of Pennsylvania found that eaters can slowly adapt the stomach so that it can expand and dilate to a remarkable degree. These images show a competitive eater's
pregnant.
stomach before and after eating 36 hot dogs. While expanding the stomach over time is important, many eaters fast right before contests to help prepare their body for greater capacity. But some critics worry about the possible long-term health impacts of these strategies.
Yeah, I want to
think
know
there's
about
a difference
this.
between fasting and starving yourself. So I don't go from eating my large kale salads to nothing at all. I taper down the quantity and I start incorporating more of a liquid diet.
The heck is a liquid diet? I could never.
Today is Thursday, November 7th. This is kind of where I start cutting out meals that take longer to digest. Today, I made myself a big bowl of pho for lunch.
Very, very cognizant of how much fluid I'm taking in. So I remain full, but so that my digestive tract is more empty. I understand how people might
Interesting.
think that this would be
So
unhealthy.
they just eat
but
soups all the time.
I'd like them to understand that what you see on stage for 10 minutes is just 10 minutes of a whole week of a balanced diet.
Damn, dude, look at all her belts in the bag. That's crazy. Good for her.
And a workout plan and a disciplined lifestyle.
Just past midnight.
That makes sense.
And we finally landed in Las Vegas. We're gonna head to our hotel, get a couple hours of sleep before the big day.
All right, the morning of, had some coffee, broke some of the keto break off in there, took a small bite of it, some fats, electrolytes, protein, small amount of carbohydrates.
I feel like they got bigger mouths than normal people. Am I crazy? Like, look at her behind me. I feel like her mouth is like huge. They got more mouth than I've seen on your average human. They have a genetic advantage. I think they do, man. That's pretty cool.
Miki's getting ready. Her version of coffee is an hour of makeup.
Whoever eats the most in 10 minutes will be declared the winner, ladies and gentlemen. It is not rocket science. What is at stake? Why do we do this? There are only 2 reasons we get out of bed at Major League Eating, ladies and gentlemen. Those things are money and what of glory, ladies and gentlemen.
The
Pancake
$10,000
glory.
total prize purse is broken down between 1st and 5th place.
I think today at
Nice.
Norm's I have a pretty good shot to win, but I always feel nervous before these contests and I never have the most confidence, but that's a good way to go into it. I'm not cocky by any stretch, but I think I got as good of a shot as anybody else to win today.
You will help me count it down in the time-honored tradition. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, they got syrup too.
$10,000 on the line here today. $5,000 to first place.
So right off the bat, I realized that they were thicker and more airy than I had expected.
Strategy was just keep the food moving like a conveyor belt and try to eat more than everybody else.
My
this is
technique going in was just
gross.
lots of water. That's what I did. I think I probably took in about 1.5 gallons of water.
Ew. Oh my gosh.
So I couldn't roll them like I wanted to. I did fold them, but I ended up with this huge like club sandwich stack of hotcakes.
Yeah, those
I wasn't
fat-
able to
those
eat them
are
in
fat.
5 bites and swallow like I had practiced.
The hotcakes were delicious. They were fast. I was definitely in flow mode in the zone.
That's a goalie. It's locked into a rhythm.
He's locked
He is
in.
locked into a rhythm. He is one with the hotcake.
About halfway through, I slowed down a little bit, but then towards the end, I realized I had more space and I pushed it.
I had to use more water. So instead of taking a sip, eating the hotcake and washing it down with a sip, I had to drink water while eating the hotcake. So I think I used twice as much water as I had expected. It's probably around the 8th minute mark when I started to get full. I had those air pockets that I just couldn't squeeze out. That's when you saw me turn to my side a lot, trying to, just kind of make some extra room and compact the food.
You train for all of this, and then you get there, and they're just not the same as the ones that you practice with. That sucks.
And it's not a good feeling when in the last 2 minutes you're just kind of waiting out the clock, because I know that other people are continuing to eat.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Who won?
After 10 grueling minutes and a world record-setting 46 hotcakes, Patrick Deep Dish Bertoletti took first place in the Norms Hotcake Eating Contest.
This is what I came here to do, and it just feels good when it all works. I'm not
This
necessarily
guy's like the
full.
Terminator. He's like the pancake Terminator. I think the time it gets gross for you is when the food doesn't look like food and more like mush. Yeah, it looks yucky, huh? I'm not full, he said calmly. He's still hungry. Quick, grab your children, grab your wives, run away.
I don't want any more pancakes, maybe ice cream or something later. I think I'm taking home $5,000 and a belt. The belt is the key. The belt is extra motivation. I love a good wrestling belt.
Jeff Esper and James Webb were right behind him with 44 and 41 hotcakes respectively. Mickey finished with 36 and a half hotcakes, and Nick came in fifth
Dang.
with 35 and a quarter hotcakes.
Oh, she
Not
out-ate
thrilled
him.
because I got fifth, but nobody's actually really happy about the results except for the guy that wins. If we're being honest about it, I'm not here for a participation trophy. I'm here to win. So, you lick your wounds and you get ready for next time.
I knew I wasn't going to beat Pat, Jeff, or James. They're very formidable opponents when it comes to difficult to eat foods that don't swallow quickly. I'm much better at things like ice cream, cream of rice, yogurt, things that those are things I hold world records in.
This isn't
She's
really
the
a rhythm
yogurt
food, so it's
eating
not necessarily
champion?
playing into her strengths, but I think she did great. For someone that only did half of one practice, comparatively I did 4 and she still kicked my so.
I know Nick's not happy with his results. He's not happy unless he's walking home with a belt, the trophy, or the first place check.
After the contest, eaters need to let their digestion reset, recover their muscles, and drink fluid to avoid dehydration.
I just
And
can't
because
believe
some
they can
eaters
keep it down.
strategically stretch their stomachs and fast before contests, recovery becomes extra important. These two training methods are some of the more controversial parts of competitive eating in relation to health.
We were concerned when we looked originally at our one speed eater and our one control that there might be a concern about developing this ability to accept all this food into your stomach and stretch out your stomach to such a degree that it can fail. The stomach of the speed eater is inherently able to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger without raising the pressure and telling the brain, "My God, I'm about to vomit." The
Oh my
long-term
God.
effects are not really easy to determine. So to sort of glorify overeating, I think from a societal perspective is not such a great idea. It's not in itself a dangerous effort.
The research on health and competitive
Interesting.
eating
So he's basically saying we don't really know. He's just like, I don't know. It could be bad. It could be not bad. We just don't know.
is still limited. And with such a tight-knit community of competitors and fans, few in this world have spoken out against the sport. But in recent
'Cause it's
years,
cool.
there has been some degree of dissent. In 2016, Tim Janis, a former competitor known as Eater X, quit the sport after 11 years out of an
Eater
abundance
X.
of caution based on the findings about potential health risks. In an interview with Time, Janis said he chose to retire.
Do you think that people will have an issue with competitive eating if they were eating like broccoli? Or do you think people are just freaking out about competitive eating because it's like hot dog? That'd be kind of cool. Competitive salad eating.
Because he didn't want to continue and realized he'd made a mistake.
Yeah,
In
oopsies.
2024, six-time Nathan's champion Kobayashi announced his retirement from competing.
He's calling it quits because he's lost his appetite.
Kobayashi retired after doctors discovered that his brain now reacts with nausea to highly processed foods.
He retired because
that's
he said
sad.
he could never feel full anymore.
He was like, yo, this is messing up my stomach.
If I could never feel full again, I would TOS.
I can't do this.
Kobayashi declined to participate in this story, but in an interview with People, he said he wonders what damage he's done to his body since he started this career.
Like, he doesn't
And
even
he wants
know.
to know how it's damaging his brain and nervous system. Despite these risks, many competitive eaters justify the training as a form of physical conditioning, similar to training for other extreme sports.
I don't condone.
But the stomach is an organ. It's not a muscle. So how do you train something like that? Can you train like your kidney? If I drink enough alcohol, can I train my kidney? Everything can be trained, Deemer, until it becomes damaged instead. On our point earlier, everything in the human body can grow except for the penis. You're stuck with a mini schlong forever.
Eating 60 hot dogs at a time, I don't think it's a good idea. If I don't drink and I don't smoke and I exercise 5 to 7 days a week, my body composition is better than 99% of the general population. The
That's
thing is,
true.
we all pick
That's
our
fair.
poison. My poison is eating unnecessary amounts of Spam or fudge for 6 to 12 minutes at a
Spam.
time.
I could do that one. I
any
feel like I could kill
organized
that one.
professional sport, competitive eating involves some degree of risk, and over time, Major League Eating has enacted protections of its own.
So when you're at an eating competition run by Major League Eating, there are EMTs on hand, and safety is a primary
Good.
concern of ours, and we've had a great track record there.
Yet with any
That's
risk
good.
comes the potential for reward. And in Major League Eating, new and seasoned competitors alike strive to eat their way into earning a decent living.
I mean, competitive eating, there's not a ton of money in it. There is some prize money, but the real money is in like social media. So all the really smart, savvy eaters like James Webb, Jeff Esper, Mickey, and Nick, they all do social media, and that's where you can make the real money.
That's what I like to
competitive
see.
eating was my full-time job for essentially close to 10 years. I only
Whoa.
decided to go back into the real job market when Nick and I decided to start a family. I said to myself, I'm not sure what that retirement plan looks
Do you think competitive eaters like train their kids too? Like, cause there's a lot of sports professionals out there who like to have their kids go into the profession too. That'd be kind of effed up, don't you think? You're like, Jimmy, you gotta finish your food. One more hot dog. One more hot dog. And he's like, Mom, please, can't we just have like a salad or something?
It's like eating hot dogs.
Nick and Mickey are returning home with $1,250 in winnings.
That's pretty good.
The real work begins here, getting back to healthy routines before the next big challenge.
We just got to the airport and we're headed to our gate. After all those hotcakes, we thought it would be a good idea to get some cardio. work
Yeah,
off
so
some
like
of these
right
calories.
after they just go back into a regular workout routine.
So we're taking the stairs instead of the escalator. Almost there. Great contest, great turnout. Now just to take a light flight home.
And of course, return to their other full-time job as parents.
Well, Max is too young to understand anything, but he enjoys the festivals.
He likes when I, basically Rafiki him, like the Lion King, and because that gets the biggest ovation over everything.
What do you have, buddy?
A pancake.
Yummy.
He's eating a pancake.
Slow.
That's cute.
Slow.
Oh, wait, that's super cute. Good video. I enjoyed that. Thanks for watching with me, you guys. That was interesting. That was super interesting.